What is going on, everybody? I am currently driving Uber, not currently driving, but I am sitting at Disney World waiting for a fare. I was gonna do this as a full video tomorrow. I've been recording my little stops and everything here and there. Actually, I've been sitting in a parking lot for the past hour. I've gotten no fares, no drives. It's a Monday, but it's the middle of summer, so I figured there'd be something good going on. It's currently 7:49 p.m. and yeah, so a little bit. I've driven Uber for a couple months in 2017. It was about 2 months worth. I wasn't working at the time, and I made about $6,000. Really helped keep the family afloat. But now, after I get done working at my hotel, I need to put in some extra hours to help fund the bank account because, you know, I got those 4-month-old girls, and it ain't cheap anymore. And I really, as a hotel manager, don't have time to pick up a part-time job just because my hours are so demanding. You know, if I had Wednesday, Thursdays off and I picked up a part-time job for those days, I could get called into work at any time. And obviously my hotel manager job takes #1 priority. And so, for example, the past 2 weeks, I've been called in every Thursday for call-offs to cover the shifts, and I've been working like 70 hours a week. So I'm trying to Uber when I can because I'm a salaried manager. I don't get paid, you know, for those shifts. So Uber is a great way to try to supplement my income. But I gotta say, tonight has been the worst I've ever had so far. And I've never gone over an hour. I mean, I started driving at 6:30. I haven't, and this is now 7:51. I've never gone over an hour without picking up a fare, even if it's just like someone to go from, what's going on, Crypto Keeper? Even if it's just from someone going from like their job to their home in a neighborhood, and it's like a $3 fare or whatever. But I've never gone an hour without getting a fare. Like, what's going on, Bimsbat? If I cut off the stream, it's only because I picked up a fare. I really hope I get a chance to see it while I'm streaming. There I go. If not, we're gonna sit here in the car and we're gonna talk to you guys about Ubering in the Disney World area and how good or bad it really is. Back when I did it pretty much full-time for 2 months, I would do it I would start about 6 a.m. in the morning, and I would stop at about 1 p.m. and then I would go back out closer towards when the parks start closing after the fireworks shows, and I'd do pretty solid. So I'd make about maybe $50 to $75 in the morning. It's a lot of people leaving hotels to go to Disney. Sometimes you get lucky and get someone staying at Disney and they want to go to Universal Studios, which is like 25 minutes away and back and forth. My wife just texted me, I'm not gonna read it. And then after you do like the Disney park open hour runs, then you start getting people checking out of their hotels at like 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. going to the airport. And so those were really, really good runs as well. And then you kind of get stagnant from like 1 to 6, 1 to 7. Usually around 6 and 7, you start getting people leaving the parks that want to go to dinner. And then around 9 or so, you get all the theme parks all dump, you know, and if you're lucky, you'll get someone that's leaving Disney and their hotels by Universal Studios. And then when you get that, you're gonna go from Universal Studios, and if you get lucky again, they wanna go back to Disney. And so those are some really good runs. You make a couple of dollars doing those runs. If there's no traffic, you pretty much cruise right through. But to give you a price breakdown on how much you can make with Uber, in this area, it's not so good. There's a lot of competition, so it kind of follows the supply and demand rules. There's a lot of drivers. The video I'm gonna upload tomorrow, pretty much journaling my experience tonight, will show a screenshot of 6 Uber drivers currently hanging out at this gas station that I'm at. And actually, if I look around, if we look over, like, not the van, but the car next to me, this one that you see in the window, that's an Uber driver. I'm watching him get out every now and then. The guy parked right behind me there is an Uber driver. In the review mirror, let's see if we can show it. We're gonna flip the camera. So the guy parked right there, that's an Uber driver. The one next to him, that's an Uber driver. So these are all people that are sitting waiting just like I am for fares, this is a very good area for it, but it's just not a good time. So to give you a breakdown on what Uber pays for the services, my base fare here in Orlando starts at 53 cents. Or no, I'm sorry, 75 cents. It used to be $1.10. Now it's at 75 cents because there's so many drivers. So if that means I drive Uber X, I don't have like a Mercedes or a Lexus to drive Uber Select or Uber Black. I don't have Uber XL. I have a mini SUV, but I can't seat 6 people, so I have to drive Uber X. And the base fare for that starts at 75 cents. So whenever someone orders an Uber and I pick up the job, it's immediately going to pay you 75 cents. Now let me also put like an asterisk above that. Uber will pay you, like if I pick someone up at this gas station I'm at and I literally take them across the street to the hotel right next to, like, I don't know why would they walk, but if I take them across the street, Uber's gonna pay me regardless $3. Like the base minimum, bare minimum, you'll never make less than $3, which is fine, but sometimes, you know, you go a ways and you only get $3. But the way it breaks down in payment is it's 75 cents for base fare. So I pick them up at 75 cents, and then it's 53 cents per mile. So every mile I drive, I get 53 cents. It used to be 58 cents. And then every minute they're in my car, I get 10 cents. And that used to be 11 cents or 12 cents. I think it was 11 cents. So in a nutshell, base fare, 75 cents, 53 cents per mile, and 10 cents per minute. So in theory, if you pick someone up and they're only driving 2 miles up the road, that's, you know, 75 cents plus $1.06. So you're looking at $1.81. But let's say that 2 miles took us an hour to get to. That would be what, 60 times 11, you know, it'd be, you'd probably make about $6 or so there. Nothing crazy, but you just gave an hour for $6, so that's less than minimum wage, plus the $1.86 that you're making, so that's less than minimum wage. Now on the flip side, if you get someone like, if I run someone from here to the airport, that's probably going to be about a $35 run. If there's no traffic, that's a smooth ride. You know, we take the main interstate. I've always wanted to look into this, and now I don't have to, thanks. Well, Banana Hammock, you in your area might be better than me. I know that if I drove out to like Daytona Beach, or if I drove out to Tampa, their base fare is like $1 to $1.50. Any tips for Ubering? Absolutely, Crypto Keeper. You always, there's no way to hustle, you know, there's no way to like really game the system, but always take a fare. So if you're driving someone, and sometimes if you're really lucky and it's busy, and you're driving someone, before you end that trip, Uber's gonna pop up and say, hey, there's another person that needs a ride that's a minute away. Do you wanna take this fare right after you drop this person off? And you're gonna get it back to back to back. So on a busy day, when you're dropping someone off and picking someone up, it can be back and forth all day long. I did that on St. Patrick's Day in 2017, and I went all day. I only stopped for like gas and a bathroom break, and I was picking up people left and right. And I was out during like primo, drop off at the bar hours, and then pick up after hours. I stopped like around midnight. I should have gone until 2 in the morning, because then the fares would have been like 30 times what they normally pay, because there's like incentives to drive around certain times. So my number one recommendation is to always accept fares, no matter what. Always accept fares. Good story and example on why I say that is because one day I was out, I was really tired, I didn't really want to drive, but I had to, and so I told myself, okay, I'm gonna set a $50 minimum, not including my gas, not including, you know, the car wear and tear, but my goal is to make $50, and yeah, of course, like I put like maybe, let's say $15, $20 into my gas tank, so technically I need to make $70, but I wanted to make $50. So I drove one person, it was a quick like 5-minute drive, and then I immediately got another fare, and I picked up these 2 girls, and they wanted to go out to Cocoa Beach because they were getting on a cruise. So when I pulled up, they were sitting outside of a grocery store, and I guess they had initially gotten a trip, and the Uber driver that they first had didn't want to drive out to Cocoa Beach. And so he drove him like a little bit and said, nah, canceled the trip, kicked him out of the car. That was that. So I show up, I pick him up, I drive him out to Cocoa Beach. That trip gave me 65, like that paid me $65. And that was, you know, without traffic and the road that takes you out to Cocoa Beach, I did it in like an hour and 20 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. I had paid $65 to go out an hour and 20 minutes out of my way. So that's some pretty good numbers right there. The only problem is that now I have to drive an hour and 20 minutes back. But I already achieved my goal. I think they also tipped me like 20 bucks as well. So I immediately put that $20 tip into the gas in my car, and I walked away with $65 when I was only making a goal of 50. Now, a couple of days after that, the same thing happened to me. Someone wanted to go out on the cruise line, and I picked up the fare. The only problem with that one is they didn't speak any English. So it's an hour and 20 minutes of sitting with someone that I could speak Spanish, like enough to do my job, but I can't speak Spanish to have a conversation for an hour and 20 minutes. So it ended up turning into like a boring ride. Like I played music and that was fun, but I really like to engage and talk to people. And I didn't have that opportunity because they didn't speak any English. So I drove out there, and it was like early in the day. So I dropped them off for their cruise, and then I started just chilling and cruising around Cocoa Beach. And I picked up a couple of people that were going out day drinking, dropping off the bar, dropping them off at the beach. You know, $3 here, $5 here, $6 there. You know, I pretty much covered my gas and everything to get back home. And then I set the waypoint on my app to say, hey, I'm driving back home. So anyone that wants to go in this direction, it'll give me rides that are going to let me do that. ¿Por qué what? Oh yeah, why? Why? So I started driving home, and then I picked up a fare. Have you ever taken home any strippers? No, I have not taken home any strippers. I'm happily married with 2 beautiful 4-month-old twin girls, so that's why I'm doing this. But I have picked up Hooters girls. Because there's a Hooters probably about 3 miles from my house, and it was I think this was like last September 2018. I was out driving around, and just, you know, for shits and giggles, I wanted to make some beer money, and I ended up picking up a girl from her shift, bring her home from Hooters, and it was cool. She took a selfie with me and everything, so I got a selfie with her still on my phone. And then one time I was driving around, it was probably like the next day, I literally had just left my house. I turned the app on, and then in the neighborhood next to my house, someone needed a ride, and she was going to the Hooters. And so she wasn't as nice as the girl I drove home. Like, she was a little more stuck up, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna ask for a selfie. But I asked for a selfie from the first one, and we took a selfie together, and she was wicked cool. And my father-in-law was with a bunch of golf buddies. No, like, pics her, it didn't happen, so of course I sent him pictures. But in relation to tips when driving Uber, like actual, like, oh wait, well, I guess I'm misinterpreting Crypto Keeper's comment. When it comes to tips, back when I first started driving, Uber didn't have a tipping option in the app, and Uber dissuaded people from tipping their drivers. Like, even, you know, when they pull up, it's like, remember, no need to tip, which kind of sucks, because if you take a Lyft, like, as you end the ride as a rider, it pretty much forces you to tip. You put a tip in there, whatever. Uber has like a secret super hidden button to tip your driver, which is crappy. But at the end of the day, people are people, and I would say about 35% of the people I drove would give me a tip. You know, not like $1, not $2, but I mean, like, most of the time it'd be a $5. You know, I've gotten a couple of 10s, I've gotten a 20. I think the lowest I've ever gotten was like a $3 tip. What I will say with the tips, I never personally considered them income. The way I looked at tips was it was found money, and I would immediately turn around and put that into the car, whether I needed to get the oil done or if I needed to get gas or anything like that. I never included my tips as my income. No, I don't have passengers right now. I've been waiting for the past hour. We're going on an hour and a half to get a fare. This is the slowest and the worst I have ever experienced driving Uber. I've never gone an hour and a half without picking up. Yes, so being an Uber driver, I have the option of driving Uber for people or driving Uber for Uber Eats. And there's a story, I have a story about that as well. When I initially started doing Uber, I didn't really know if my car qualified to take people. I have a 2008 Chrysler Sebring, wear and tear, older car, 130,000 miles on it at the time. You know, paint peeling, because in Florida, red cars, the paint peels if you don't like keep the clear coat on them like weekly. And so I didn't think my car was people ready. When I signed up, because I was unemployed for 2 months, the company that I had worked for, they had a new management company come in. The hotel I worked for, they brought in a new management company and they fired all the managers. So I was unemployed for 2 months, and the hiring process is so crazy now. It's all online, it's all automated. No one knows your personality or anything like that. You're just a bunch of texts and a resume that people just reject. I'm guilty of it. I put up a job application. I get 200 and something applications for one position, and I don't get to see them all. Maybe out of the 10 resumes I look at, I end up hiring one person from them. Anyway, I was unemployed, and I gave myself about 2 weeks to, wallow, and I've never been fired before or laid off or terminated. And so I gave myself 2 weeks to wallow, and my wife was like, all right, now you got to start doing something. Now you got to start applying. I don't care if you get a part-time job, this or that. So I was like, let me try Uber Eats. At the time, again, I didn't think my car was good enough to drive people in it. So I was like, let me sign up for Uber Eats. And so I did. And then Uber Eats went through and said, do you want to do the driving as well? And I was like, you know what, we will leave that on there for now. I'll turn that off in the future just in case. But they said I can't really do Uber Eats until I get the hot cold bag they send you. So I was like, well, crap, I can't wait 3 days. I want to start making money now. I want to get out there now. Like, I need to make money now. And so then I cleaned up my car really nice. I got an alignment, new tires, all that jazz on it. So I was already $250 in the hole from all that work that I did on the car. But I was like, let me just test the waters. Let me use my crappy car. It qualifies to drive people. And let me just see if I start driving people and I get complaints about my car, I'm not going to drive people. I'll just strictly drive Uber Eats. Luckily, the first day when I tested this, and I wasn't even planning to be out for too long, but I was like, let me see if I can pick up 1 or 2 people. I made $80 the first day. I only drove like 5 people around, and they were like, oh, you're great, 5-star service, this and that. So I was like, oh, well, maybe my car is okay. Maybe it's not necessarily about the aesthetic of the car. Like, if I'm not picking you up in a 2019 Dodge Charger, are you going to be okay with being picked up in a 2008 Chrysler Sebring? And yeah, they were, because people would rather spend $10 to $15 to go to Disney from their hotel in my crappy car versus $30, $40, $50 to go from their hotel to Disney. So then I was like, all right. So then I started doing that. And then I learned I would have made no money if I just stuck with doing Uber Eats, because Uber Eats doesn't really pay as well. And their orders were so few and far between. And around this time, Uber Eats wasn't as expansive as it is now, but there's more competition, in my opinion, for apps like Uber Eats. When I'm at my hotel, I'm working and I didn't bring lunch, I should always bring lunch. It's not a financial decision, but I use DoorDash. Mostly because the delivery fees are cheaper and they're always running special promotions for like restaurants that are closed for like 99-cent delivery, whereas Uber is like $3.49 delivery, $5.99, $6.99 delivery. Funny story about that, when we were in the hospital, when my twins were in the NICU, we were looking at doing Uber Eats one night and the delivery fee was $24.99. No. So no. What we ended up doing that night was we actually did do Uber Eats, but they were running, if you order within 14 minutes, someone in the area had, I kid you not, Bobby MC, it was $24.99. But there was someone in the area that ordered Steak and Shake. And sometimes what Uber Eats does is if there's someone else that ordered, they say, hey, you've got 4 minutes to place an order from this restaurant, and you kind of piggyback off of their delivery fee. So they ended up only costing me $2.99 in the delivery fee. We did Uber Eats once and horrendous, got mean 6 hours late. Yeah, I like Uber. It's just, it's convenient, but the problem with Uber Eats is like the restaurants that you can order from, the food's better not takeout. Like, and I think that's general with like most restaurants. Place stayed open 15 minutes because of it. Wow. I think that's just in general when it comes to most takeout. If it's a meal that you should go and sit down and enjoy, it's gonna be better if you sit down and enjoy it versus if you do Uber Eats. By the time it gets to you, if you get like fries, your fries are gonna be soggy. If you get chips and queso, the chips aren't gonna be like, you know, hot and steamy, and they're gonna be a little stale. The queso is gonna have that like cheese crunch on top of it. You know, your burgers are gonna be soggy. It's just like pizza's the best delivery food because nothing happens. Chicken wings are a good delivery food, but like just a good restaurant meal is not good as takeout. So most of the time, you know, I don't really do Uber Eats, and it's not really worth the delivery fee there. But it's just, it is what it is. I'm never going to say no to an opportunity to deliver like Uber Eats or pick up someone, even though I know all right, so sometimes it drives me nuts with Uber Eats. Like I'm sitting here at a gas station, and let's imagine that the hotel across the street from me, which I could easily walk to as a chubby fat guy, I can walk to and I can get to my room in less than 5 minutes. Now, let's say the gas station I'm sitting at was a McDonald's. One time I actually did a delivery for Uber Eats where I picked up the McDonald's right here, crossed over a street and delivered it. I think it was the Humane Society in Orlando. But at this, I was like, financially, that person that ordered the McDonald's, they're wasting money because they just paid a $4.99 delivery fee to get two Big Mac value meals delivered, where you could just go and get it. Like I get maybe they didn't want to spend like, you know, 30 minutes of their lunch or 15 minutes of their lunch break, and they wanted to order before they went to lunch break and then had it delivered. But in my mind, that doesn't make sense. Now, like if I was staying at my hotel and my favorite pizza place is, well, it's delivery, it's a terrible example. My favorite restaurant is like, you know, 15, 20 minutes away, and I've had a little bit to drink at the hotel. I could understand like, yeah, I'm gonna order from my favorite restaurant because it's this far away, it's not across the street, versus, you know, getting in the car, drinking and driving and going to it. Or, you know, take an Uber, go to my favorite restaurant, have some drinks there, take an Uber back. I don't know. But, yeah. So now we're sitting here, we're 20 minutes shy of doing Uber for 2 hours, and I have yet to pick up a single person. Now I'm going to be interested to see, as I've been streaming for 20 minutes, I'm going to jump back to the app and see if it's still running. Yeah, it does suck. But, I mean, I'm trying to provide for my family. It's just, can't do it at the moment if there's no driving around. And, like, I don't want to drive from spot to spot. Like, I very well could be missing out on fares if I drove to, like towards Universal Studios, or I kind of like made little trips back and forth. So maybe what I was doing in my journal for today is wrong, but I've heard and I've read in my personal experience that driving, just aimlessly driving, looking for fares is not profitable. It's not good. You're going to burn through gas. You're going to put wear and tear on your car. You know, it's going to really take an impact. But at the same time, I've driven around aimlessly, and within 30 minutes, I've gotten fares. So maybe I do need to start going back and forth between Universal and Disney and kind of hope from there. Things to consider if I do that: getting stuck in traffic. Lots of traffic in this area, lots of cars, which is also probably why I don't have a lot of Uber going on, because there's a lot of Uber drivers going on. You know, sometimes, and this always happens in Uber, if you turn the app on and you're driving one way, someone 15 minutes behind you needs a ride. I've accepted it, and I've had to drive 15 minutes to get to that person. And this was also, I don't know, I think Uber now does it. They'll pay you a little bit for that trip, but this was before, you know, I drive that 15 minutes to get that person, and I didn't make a single penny off of that trip. I mean, I'm sorry, I made money off of actually picking that person up, but I didn't make money driving those 15 minutes to pick up that person. Now, because I'm smart and I have a huge brain, I learned something when I did my 2018 taxes. Uber itself only records your trips and your mileage when you have an active fare. And I believe the current tax write-off is, if you're using your vehicle for work, such as Uber and ride sharing, I believe it's 58 cents a mile. I learned that as long as you have the Uber app on and you're actively searching for a fare or a ride and you're driving, log those miles because you can write them off because you are technically working. So what I would do, is it true that Uber pays you if someone vomits in your vehicle? 100% yes, and I have a story for that as well. Gosh, I should just do a whole video series of all these stories. Like, I need to watch this stream when I get home and just do like a sit down and tell all these stories. So this is a fun one, and hopefully we don't, I mean, I want to get interrupted because I want to pick up someone, but I don't at the same time. So one time I was driving and there was, I picked up a fare, and it was in this development that was under construction. And so first it was really freaking hard to find this house because it doesn't exist yet in the GPS, and the numbers weren't listed because the house was under construction. So I eventually got in contact with the person that booked the trip, and he booked it for 2 of his construction workers that were working on one of the houses, and he told me which house it was. So yes, people, like if you know, my wife was like, my car broke down and I was drunk and I couldn't go pick her up, I could order her an Uber and someone could go pick her up at her location and bring her to me. So that's what this guy did. He ordered an Uber from his office on his account, on his phone, for his 2 employees to bring them back home. So they had done construction. I waited out in front of their house for like 15 minutes for these guys to come out because they were finishing up their job. They got in my car and I started driving, and this was pretty much on the Disney side of town. I had drive past the Universal Studios side of town. Halfway there, I got stuck in traffic. Big deal. It happens because it's the tourist area. So I get stuck in traffic, and all of a sudden my phone goes, and I'm like, okay, because there was a new notification. I looked down, it said trip canceled. This mofo canceled the trip. The tax regarding kilometer miles for you if big bone handicapped people. Yeah, it's amazing. I got a great tax return that year because of Uber. So I'm in traffic. This guy cancels the trip, and now I get partial payment for this trip. I got $12. So I just wasted about an hour and a half of my time for $12. And I'm not a jerk, so I'm not gonna sit there and tell these people to get out of the car. So I immediately call the dude. I have one of the workers call the guy, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you could pick up multiple trips and, you know, book multiple rides for multiple employees. I didn't mean to, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, dude, no, you know damn well what you did. And so I was like, I need to get paid. So he goes back and talks to the employees, and they're like, please don't kick us out of your car. Please don't kick us out of your car. I'm like, okay, I won't. So I dispute with Uber as well. I like, while I'm in traffic, talking and texting on your phone, whatever. I send a dispute to Uber. This guy canceled the trip. I still have people in my car, you know, blah, blah, blah. Uber turned around and gave me another like $9 for it. So I made $21, which wasn't bad. But the people that I was driving, they're like, please don't kick us out. Please bring us where we need to go. Please, please, please. We'll pay you cash, whatever. Insurance and liability wise, this was not the best decision because if anything happened to me, they're not covered and I'm not covered and protected because I'm now freely driving them. But they ended up, I took $25 cash from them. You know, I dropped them off where they needed to go, $25, and I'm getting to the vomit stuff because of this dude trying to run the scam on me, right? Once I got and dropped them off, I stopped at a gas station because at this point I needed to, you know, go to the bathroom. I've been in the car for like 2 hours with these people. I look in my back seat, and they must have been doing concrete work because there was like chunks of concrete that were on like on my passenger seat in the back, on the floor, this and that. So I turn right around and I take pictures of it and I send it to Uber saying, this guy is now going to make me clean my car because his construction employees left a mess. It wasn't, I mean, I literally, and it's clean, you know, and it was cleaned up. So I send the pictures to Uber. Within 3 minutes, they billed the dude that tried to scam me $50 and put it in my account. $50, when realistically, all I needed was 75 cents to do a little vacuum and to pick up the little like concrete, gravel, and dust that these construction workers left behind in my vehicle. So for all this rigmarole and all this scam that this rider tried to do to me, I made $96. And that was a really good day. For 2 hours, $96. That's essentially $48 an hour? Not bad at all. So I got really, really lucky there. So, but have I had someone personally vomit in my car? No, I haven't. But I had that situation. Now, if Scammy McScammerskin gets him again, lol. Yeah, what's going on, Josco? Now, if someone had vomited in my car, back in the day, I just take a picture of it, I submit it to the Uber customer care, like through the app, and they give you $250 to clean your car. So, I mean, of course, if I'm driving drunk people around, I used to be a housekeeping manager. I know how to clean up vomit and all that stuff really well, and I have stuff at my house to clean it up. I would get $250 if someone vomited in my car. Now what they do is they make you go through, you document the vomit, and then you have to like provide a receipt for the cost of cleaning and how much it was to get your car clean. So there's a little less gray area to where you can make money that way, you know. So I wouldn't necessarily get $250, but it has happened. I've heard horror stories from other people. So anyway, I just streamed for half an hour. I still haven't gotten anything. I need to check if the app is still running in the background while I'm streaming, because I don't have two phones like a lot of Uber drivers do, because they do Uber and Lyft. Ooh, excuse me. Woo! But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm gonna check the app to see if it's up. I do have to. I'm gonna try to not close out YouTube. Like if the stream ends, I'm not gonna get back on streaming. But if it still goes, and the app is still. All right, let me restart. If the Uber app is still running in the background while I'm streaming, I'll continue to stream. If I close the streaming, or if I like multitask to go check and it ends the stream, I'm not gonna stream anymore. But with that said, I've been video documenting my journey tonight, pretty much me just sitting around at a gas station. I got a cool Disney site video that I'll have edited all into one video. I'm gonna upload that tomorrow. So if you guys wanna see more Uber related content, and hopefully everyone, fingers crossed, hopefully I get a fare, because I want to show how much you can make on Uber instead of sitting around for 2 hours at Disney World not getting any fares. So with all that said, I'm gonna go check. If the stream ends, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this in the future, you know, thank you for getting this far. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me go check just in case. You know, I'll see you guys next time. Here we go. So I did check. The app is running. So I just sat here streaming for 30 more minutes and haven't gotten a ride. Now, there's a couple things that we can take into consideration. In 40 minutes, Epcot will begin its fireworks show, and I am right next to Epcot. Hollywood Studios will do its nighttime show, and I'm right next to Hollywood Studios. And then after those shows end, there's going to be a rush. In past experience, I haven't done this in a while, I haven't waited here in a while. Past experience shows that normally there's going to be a huge demand for is there lights in here? There's going to be a huge demand for Uber drivers because of the fireworks. So I'm here waiting now. Maybe we'll keep streaming for a couple more minutes. I need to use the little boys' room here shortly. But any questions? Any new viewers? Any questions? Anything you want to remind me of? I probably have a cool story about it. Yeah. So that's about it. I really wish I can get some good fares. At least, I'd at least be happy going home with $20. At least. Because I need to get my daughter's food. Turkish. I need to get my daughter's baby formula, and I was really kind of hoping that I would make like $40 tonight to get that for them. I got a fraud alert on my car and just wanted to make sure you're still getting paid. I can't find any charges. I still saw your how much you need. What is it? $21.95. I need to at least make like $40 tonight. That's my goal. $40. I have tomorrow and Wednesday off, so I'm probably gonna do some Ubering tomorrow and Wednesday as well, just to keep everything going. But I get paid on Wednesday, so it should be fine. So that's the goal and that's the plan. You can do it. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if I have to stay out until midnight, I'm gonna do it. My wife is fine at home. I gotta see what text message she sent me, but I've got tomorrow off. I'm gonna drive her to work and use her car, because I can't Uber in my car anymore. My car's got 145,000 miles on it now. I Ubered with that 2 years ago, but like my driver's side window doesn't work anymore. I'm too lazy to replace it. My oil light goes off every 5 seconds. Like, even though I get oil changes, I think it's like something with the fuse. So as you're driving, it always like bing, 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 and it gets really annoying. So I don't want to drive anybody with that. I could fix it when I come visit, LOL. Yeah, fix that. And then I gotten new tire rods, like on my front end. But every time I go to start taking a right turn, my car's like bop, 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 bop. So I am not driving anyone in that anymore. Dude, you live in Florida. I make over 20K a year collecting golf balls in my spare time. You can make a killing where you are. I have a story about that as well, Bobby MC. I used to work at a big timeshare golf resort that had 2 18-hole golf courses, 1 walkable lit 9 par 3 9-hole course, and then one like it's a 9-hole course, but it had a par 5, 2 par 4s, and then 6 par 3s, and you take a golf cart on it. I would actually probably every month go home with 5-gallon buckets of golf balls, because some of the housekeeping staff, some of my building people, some of my employees would collect golf balls for me because they knew I golf. And I would clean them up, and most of the time I would take the junk balls out to like the walkable 9-hole course, because that one was pretty much a lot of water, and I would lose a lot of balls that way. And so I used all the balls, and I probably had like 3 5-gallon buckets of balls at one time. And then, you know, I can always go out back of my house and there's a little pond, I can knock them in and everything. So that's pretty much what I would do. But if I went back there or on the golf courses and stuff, probably I could do the same. I don't have that kind of time, which is why I'm doing Uber, just because I can do it as I want. Like, fortunately, and knock on wood, I don't think I have any in here, I can drive Uber, and then like if someone at my hotel called off for like the overnight shift or anything like that, I can jump and go. So that's why, you know, I'm doing it. And it's not like I can pick up a part-time job, because if someone does call off and it's my day off and I'm at my part-time job and I had to be like, sorry, I gotta go to my other job, I'd get fired. But yeah, that's that. So, and plus Ubering, I know if like my wife needs me right now, I can just go right home. Or if not, you know, I've had success with it. I made decent money, you know, $5,000 in 2 months isn't terrible. And that's, you know, I say 5,000 to 6,000, but realistically, let's say 5,000, because 1,000 would go towards, you know, 250 to start when I got my tires, and, you know, my alignment and oil changes, and, you know, actually spending gas when I didn't get tips from people. I would say, you know, that 1,000 would be the accurate car wear and tear for that 2-month time frame. So luckily, my wife, we got her a newish car, a 2016 car. It only had 21,000 miles on it with the original warranty, which actually just ended. No, it ends at the end of this month. So anything that happens to the car, I've got another 3,000. I think it's up to 36,000 miles, and the end of August of 2019, it's still under warranty. So hopefully, you know, nothing ever happens to it after the warranty ends. But it's nice low mileage, really good on gas, and it's gonna really does what I need it to do. So that's what I would be using for Uber. And it's not like I need to do Uber forever. In the long run, or actually, this is more of a short-term kind of thing. I've got $900 left on a student loan. I've got, my wife and I both have iPhones that we do the monthly payment plan for. We both have about 230 left on each one, so we got 460 there. So my student loan is $75 a month. Our phones are about $75 a month. So my goal is to get those 2 paid off, because then that's $150 a month that we can have. Because since my twins were born, my wife's insurance has taken out $100 a week from her paycheck now. So we've lost $400 a month in income because of the insurance. So that's why I need to Uber. We have Disney annual passes. It's $56 each a month. We're gonna let them go. We've had them for the past 10 years, and they start at like $22 a month, but now they're up to $56 a month. So the 2 of us, that's $112. With the girls, we really can't go to Disney as much as we used to. In fact, during her pregnancy, we only went to Disney once, and then I went to Disney once. So we really just wasted our annual passes for the whole year of 2018, most of 2019. I hate to do it, but we're gonna let the Disney passes go, they expire in October, and that's going to be another $112 a month. That's going to help me pay off the student loan and help me pay off the phones. And then in 2017, the AC in my house died, so we had to get a new AC. Of course, we financed that. I've got $2,800 left on that. So kind of when I roll all this stuff forward, we're going to pay off all that debt, you know, working at Uber to pay off my student loan. Then I roll the 75 into, or no, I'm sorry, we're doing the Uber to work off the phone financing charges, and then take that 75, roll it in my student loan. So it's 75 plus 75. Once that's all done, that's 150. I roll that into the AC, plus the Disney passes expiring, so that's 250 into the AC at 2,800. Pay that down, and then she's got a credit card with a $2,000 balance on it. We'll roll all that payment into that credit card to get rid of. And then I have a credit card with $6,000 on it, so we'll roll it all into that. And then at the end of the day, maybe, you know, by the time my girls are like 1.5, 2-ish, we'll be a little more debt free, and be able to have extra luxuries like those Disney passes again. So that's kind of the goal with Uber, is to do this short term again on days off, because I don't have time to pick up a part-time job, and I don't want her to have to pick up a part-time job. And my in-laws watch the girls like 7 days a week. Is to pay off those smaller debt bills that I have and keep rolling them forward. Now, also, yes, if you guys are watching me and you know that I'm completely earned all my crypto via referral marketing, via YouTube, via, you know, crypto hopper trading back and forth, buying low and selling high, via dApps, via Tron, all this stuff, I've been very fortunate to accumulate, you know, a nice little chunk of crypto, which ultimately I wanted to buy my new truck with, but I had to put my family first. So I do have crypto accumulating, and I've been tempted to cash out again and pay off some of those bills, but I really, you know, I need to keep my crypto for something to show for all the hard work and everything I've done on YouTube for the past 2 years. So that's all kind of, you know, the reasons why and everything. It sucks that like tonight, don't sell now. No, not selling now. No. That's why if you watch the video I uploaded today, I kind of went back to my roots, like those passive income and passive opportunities that, you know, got me to where I was. But I really need Uber to take off. I really need to make $40 tonight. I really need to make like $50 tomorrow, just so I can keep everything going and I have that extra in the account. Oh, because gosh, having kids got expensive, and it's not like we were able to kind of test the waters and just have one child. Like, God blessed us with twins, and I love my girls so much, but gosh, it's expensive. I know, you know, that's it for life. You know, they're my girls, and it's gonna be like this for life. But also, I don't foresee myself being at the same pay structure and pay level and position that I'm currently at, that I've been at for the past 3 years, because unfortunately, there's a long story with the hotel I work at, and it being sold to new ownership at the beginning of 2019, and yada, yada, yada. But I've been there for 3 years, and I haven't gotten a raise, I haven't gotten bonuses, I have to pay my own insurance, I'm required to be on my phone 24/7 and answered. Wait until I get married. Oh my gosh. Hopefully by that point, I'll be making 6 figures, or by that point, my Bitcoin will just be crazy. And occasionally I tuck $10 each in Bitcoin away for them to give them when they're 18. But, you know, I don't foresee myself being in the current position that I'm at right now much longer. I am actively applying for positions, but I'm not actively pushing and following through like I should be. I'm just being like another number. I'm putting my application for a position, and, you know, if they give me a call, they give me a call, versus like I applied for a position today at a resort right next to my house that I could walk to. But I should follow up with them tomorrow. I should call them tomorrow and say, hey, have you seen my resume yet? I understand you have 200 applicants for this position, but I would really appreciate if you spend 10 minutes speaking to me on the phone or face-to-face interview, or just like looking at my resume. I really need to start getting into that mindset if I want to move forward, because, you know, the new ownership came to my hotel. They sat me down after their first month there, and they were like, would you be interested in being, you know, resort operations manager and overseeing 3 departments versus 1 department? I was like, absolutely. Here we are 6 months later, and I haven't heard anything about that conversation. I don't have an active boss at my hotel that I report to, because that's the position that I want, but they haven't filled that or anything yet, because I know they're trying to save money by not having that salary. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream now. I need to go in and use the little boy's room. I appreciate everyone watching and hanging out with me. I hopefully will get some fares, and I will continue to document my journey as the night goes on. If I get some really cool people, I'll see if they don't mind talking in a video for a couple of minutes. And I'll make a fun video out of this. So hopefully I might, and if the video does well on YouTube, and I might do some more Uber videos, and if it's really, really well, I might actually dedicate more time to doing Uber videos on top of my Bitcoin and cryptocurrency videos, and on top of my gaming and some beer reviews and stuff. Just do more. Absolutely. So if they get a hit, and yes, I'm going to be a little greedy and say if they get decent monetization, I will absolutely do more, because I think it's a fun little topic. It's a fun little niche to go about. Hey, Cue Ball, I'm getting off, so sorry you just missed me. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow when I have an edited Uber video. Watch the stream, and we'll go from there. So just park outside Hooters. I'm on my way. So we'll see you guys later. Reach out to me on Discord. You can track me throughout the night, you know, talking everything in between fares if you want. I'll make a Discord channel specifically for Uber now. And yeah, so thank you very much. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm O'Price, and we'll see you guys next time.